Great morning, great morning. Oh, my voice acting crazy today. I was talking yesterday and had too much to say, I guess. But how y'all doing this morning? And I haven't went live in a minute, but I wanted to every time I feel like I have a message to share, I like to go live because you just never know who might need to hear it. But I'm gonna go ahead and take my NutriVerse, which I start my day out with my multivitamin every single day. And this is equivalent to eating 10 salads. So if you're not eating your veggies or taking a vitamin or really taking care of yourself, I was trying not to waste it, but yeah. If you're not taking any vitamins, it really makes a difference, like, in your health. And I'm gonna go in a wave. What's up? What's up? Oh, I miss your face too. But you know where I'm at. You know how to get in contact with me. Something like really, I guess, like hit me. I guess like I would say a ton of bricks. Like it was just like, hello, hello, hello. It had hit me like a ton of bricks like last night. I was like in the shower, and y'all know I'm like super transparent. Well, if you don't know, then I'm letting you know that I am. I'm super like, because there's a difference between being honest and being transparent. Being honest is when somebody asks you and you tell the truth. But when you're transparent, you are able to share things and allow things to be exposed that you probably wouldn't, normally say. But it just getting, just wanted to get a little bit more vulnerable, I guess you can say. So I'm going to be transparent. As I was in the shower last night, like, getting ready for bed and, getting myself together, I was asking myself, like, because, we have this vision in our minds of what our life should look like, or basically like the promise in our mind that God gave us and of where he's taken us or where we should be. We're just feeling like we need to be further along. So I asked myself that last night, like, because I felt like I was like, why am I not further along, or why am I not where I'm supposed to be? And God instantly like spoke to me and said, are you doing the things that the person that you are becoming or want to become should be doing? Like, check your habits. Like, are you doing the things that person that you see in your mind? Because if you see, okay, so I see myself as this successful person who, is free from like any type of bondage, who is able to do whatever she want to do when she want to do it. And it was like, okay, the habits of that person, are you forming those habits that the person that you need to become will have? And I was like, wow, the things that I do on a day-to-day basis are not aligned with who I want to become. And like I said, I'm going to be transparent. So I had to, really ask myself, what does the habits of this person that I want to become look like? What do I need to do? Because one thing that I'm really like big on is telling my testimony, because I feel like the person that I was is not who I am now. Of course, I don't look like what I've been through, but I've, battled with depression. I've attempted suicide. I was an alcoholic. I've dealt with alcoholism. I've been in domestic violence relationships. Like, I've got my face punched in on a couple different occasions. I've just been through so much, like, neglect and abuse, and just being in such a life where, sorry, I forgot I put my alarm on, but I had just lived such a life that I didn't feel like I had value. So I finally got to a place where I was like, wait a minute. Like, I see that there is a better version of me available. And I started, taking those steps. Like, I stopped drinking. I started praying every day. I started saying my affirmations. I'm saying positive affirmations. I am worthy. I am confident. I am beautiful. I am strong, and I just started speaking life into myself, and I started speaking these things. But I realized what I was doing is I was building habits. I was building the habits that I needed in order to be the person that I am today. So when I was, in deep in depression, in that dark place, when I was, drinking every day, when I was taking antidepressants, when I was in these domestic violence situations, when I was being abused or neglected or whatever the case may be, I wasn't saying no positive affirmations then. I wasn't speaking life into myself then. Not how in a sense I was, but not as powerful as I do now. I was saying it because it just seemed like the right thing to say, or because I heard somebody else saying it. So it was like, okay, so I'm gonna speak life, or I'm gonna say these positive affirmations because that's what they want me to say. But I was saying them, but not really believing that it was possible. It was something down on the inside of me that said that it was possible, but I didn't truly believe. So while I was saying these, speaking life into myself, I wasn't putting in any action towards changing my habits into the person that I wanted to become. But then when I started changing my habits, like I said, I stopped drinking. I stopped ordering out all the time. I stopped eating all that greasy food. And I stopped, doing certain things to my body where I didn't feel was serving that version of me that I wanted to become. So when I asked myself last night, I was like, okay, because I think we live in a microwave society where we want change to happen overnight. We want to be like, the next day we want to be like a millionaire, or we want to just jump into the person that, we want to become. But then I realized it's the habits that I need to form in order to become that version of myself that I see in my mind. And I feel like you're always in such a way that you're growing, that you have to pay attention to those small daily habits. So now, like I said, when I was drinking and I was, clubbing and doing all that extra stuff, like, I wasn't getting up praying every day. I wasn't meditating every morning. I wasn't journaling every day. But now I do. Now I get up in the morning, and that's the first thing I do is I pray. Then I meditate. Then I journal. And then I have a prayer book that I read. And I have my own personal, my Speak Life book. I have my positive affirmations. So I'm reading, my own book. I made that book for other people, but I also made it for myself. This is a lifestyle. It's not like you could just read the book one time and then like your life gets better. It's the habits that you form and the person that you have to grow yourself into. Like you can't just like, you can't just like, okay, decide I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. And it just happened like that. I mean, of course, unless you win the lottery or something like that. But you have to believe that you can become that person in order to build those habits. And that belief is what's going to keep you like strong enough and brave enough to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to keep building these habits. So now when I don't want to pray, when I don't want to get up in the morning and do my affirmations, when I don't feel like it, it's that version of myself in my head that I'm looking at. Like, I want to be that person. Like, I want to be that person that's financially free. I want to be that person that could just get up and go wherever in the world that I feel like it. I mean, maybe your version or vision of yourself is different than that vision that I have of myself. But that's what you have to ask yourself. Who do I want to be? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want to feel like? Like, close your eyes and just imagine like the best version of yourself. What do I want to feel like? And then ask yourself after that, what are the habits that person would be doing. Like, what would that person be doing every day? Like, the person that I want to become, what do their everyday habits look like? And when that hit me last night, I was like, wow, I'm not taking care of myself how the person that I want to become would. I'm not doing the things that person that I see myself as will be doing every day. I'm not living up to my full potential. And not to, like, downplay myself or beat myself up, but it was a wake up call in such a way where you have to be honest with yourself sometimes and say, you know what, I can do better. And that's a part of, life that a lot of people don't like, just taking that accountability. It's nobody is going to come, unless you have a personal coach or trainer, but nobody's going to come and knock on your door and say, get up and go read this book, or get up and go do this, and go get up and form these habits. Ultimately, like, it's really up to you. And I'm talking to myself as well. So last night it was just like, wow, now I need to, like, really sit down and ask myself, that version of myself that I want to be, what are the habits that she's doing every day? How is she investing in herself, in her health? Because that's another thing I realized. The better I take care of myself, the better my life gets. I didn't realize that until I really started investing in my health and investing in my self-care routine, where I'm making sure that I'm doing my, my face wash in such a way where I'm, doing my toner, and I'm putting my infinity oil on my face every day. Like, the way I take care of my skin, the way I take care of my body. Like I said, my NutriBurst vitamins. Like, if you're not taking care of yourself from the inside out, it's going to show up. Not only in your physical, but in your mental, your spiritual, like your emotions. If you are not taking care of yourself from the inside, and you got all this grease and bread and, sugar and all this crazy stuff in your body, it shows up in your habits. It shows up in the way you live. Because if you like, oh, I'm just going to eat this cake, I done bought a whole whatever thing of cake. Now you're not feeling your best because you like, oh, whatever, I'm not even going to try. But if you say, you know what, I'm not going to have cake this time. And I'm just using cake as an example. But, you know what, like, I'm going to not, or even a second plate. You know what, I'm really overdoing it by getting the second plate. Like, I'm not going to get a second serving because I'm just really overdoing it. It's about self-control. And that was one thing that I realized that I was lacking, especially when it came to the way I was taking care of myself. So once I started taking better care of myself, I realized that my life started to change. Even, like I said, even my mind. And now that I realize, that I had to reevaluate the habits that I needed to change, or I need to change in order for me to become this next version of myself, then I asked myself, how can I take better care of myself? How can I better my self-care routine? How can I take better care of myself from the inside? What can I, do more for myself? Because that's really what it's all about. The better you take care of yourself, the better your life becomes. And you have to ask yourself, how are you investing in yourself? How are you investing in your health? Like with my NutriBurst, I take this every single day. But there was once upon a time where I would probably take it here and then forget. And then it will be like, oh, I forgot to take my NutriBurst. Oh, I forgot. Now, oh no. I'm not forgetting. Why? Because I built a habit of taking it every single day in the morning. And sometimes even I'll take a second shot during lunchtime, or like not midday, but around midday, like 12, 1, around lunchtime. But just understanding that, like, personal development, how you treat yourself and how you take care of yourself, how you invest in yourself, like, how are you speaking to yourself? You know what I mean? So it was just something that I really wanted to, like, I guess, get off my chest, because anytime like God puts something on my heart and gives me a message, and he's constantly always speaking to me, but I guess sometimes I be feeling like, oh, whatever, I'll go live later, or I'll do a video, and then I'll be doing other stuff. So I don't really be as vocal as I used to be. But it's definitely something that God has really been working on me, because I think one thing I've also been thinking about is, who do I want to become? Because once you start shedding those old versions of yourself, those old habits, once you shed that old version of yourself, you have to ask yourself now, okay, so now who do I want to become? Who do I want to be? Like, going back to what I said, like, what habits do I want to form? How do I want to work on myself? And it's just things I ask myself, like, regularly, just in such a way that I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly evolving. And I just feel like when you're constantly growing and constantly evolving, your thought process just continues to change. And I believe that's one of the reasons why I haven't been sharing as much, because I've been growing so fast, where it's been like mind blowing, where it's like, who am I? Like, who is this new person? And it's like, wow, like, I even amaze myself a lot, because I'm like, I'm not the person that I used to be. I'm not, doing those same habits that I had before. But it takes time, so give yourself grace as well if you're not where you want to be. But be real with yourself, like, what do I need to do? What habits do I need to form? But that was pretty much it that I had to say. God has just shifted my life in such a way where it's like, to be honest, it's overwhelming. Like, change is scary, right? Like, I don't feel that at any point or any level of like growing or changing is ever like comfortable. Like, to be honest, because every time I felt my life shifting, every time I felt myself building new habits and recreating and reinventing myself over and over, it's never been comfortable. It's never been easy. It's never been a smooth transition. So I just had to understand that it's normal to be uncomfortable. It's normal to feel like I don't got this all figured out. It's normal to feel like that. And once I accepted that, it was like, okay, here we go. Like, let's do this, So yeah, I'm just accepting and embracing like the changes and the transitions and the metamorphosis. I always think of myself as a butterfly, but I'm constantly going back into that cocoon. Like, it's almost as if like I'm a butterfly, and then I like go back into the cocoon and then rehatch all over again and rehatch all over again, and just keep, every time I reinvent myself, and every time I grow, every time I transition, every time I guess you could say, morph into this new person mentally, like, I have to break out of that shell again. And that's because of those habits that I was shedding. So I want to ask you this, and I'll end it here. What habits or what version of you do you have to shed in order for you to become that person that you see yourself as in your head? I want to just ask you that. So I love y'all. I pray that you have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. It was very good to get on here and like speak with you guys for, this short amount of time, but it's a blessing to be able to share this journey as I go through these things, and as God continues to just show up in such a magnificent way. I can't even talk this morning, but such an amazing way, that it just blows my mind. And I'm grateful to be able to share this journey with you guys. So I love you. Again, I pray that you all have an amazing, 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 and blessed day. Today is going to be your day. And today is going to be a great day for you. Love y'all.